The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
Generals gathered in their masses.
I'm seeing more and more mainline university reports in the news where they admit the political class worldwide wants things to destabilize because then they can distract off onto those new problems and not build a better civilization. So it really is I would call it a mental illness in the ruling class. Like, I don't want an American empire. But we don't even have that. We have this corporate revolving door empire of all these special interests who are so removed from the ground that they're doing very dangerous things, very dehumanizing things, and not taking any responsibility for it. It's a very serious situation. I saw an MIT report just last year we covered where they said, we have transferred our high-tech systems and can basically never beat China now, and that it's true, the deindustrialization, they claim that we would have high-tech stuff. We don't. We're screwed. Yeah, the elite believe their own bull. And then now, what are we going to do? Dr. Steve Pieczenik's been warning about this for decades. We're going back to him in a moment. We've got him. We'll just go the whole hour with him if he can do it, and then take calls in the third hour. I got a bunch of news I haven't gotten to yet. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, this hour is brought to you by MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. And they are great, high-quality, storable foods, non-GMO, great customer service. They've got a lot of their preparedness items. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. If you do not have storable food, I think you're crazy in this unstable world. It lasts more than 20 years. You can give them a call, 866-229-0927, MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. And then, of course, we're mainly funded by viewers and listeners like you out there that are members to PrisonPlanet.tv to see the nightly news and all my films and the high-def, commercial-free video and audio podcast of the daytime show and live special events and so much more. You're really funding the tip of the spear in the info war. As Hillary says, the establishment's losing the info war, and we're proud to be right at the forefront of that. Because these people can get away with anything if we're not exposing what they're up to. And then finally, you can get the very best water filtration systems anywhere at the lowest price, 10% off with promo code WATER. ProPure Pro 1 G2 2.0 filters, cut out the glyphosates, the fluoride, everything. They're the same price or lower than the leading competitors. The leading competitors, just side-by-side comparisons at InfoWarsStore.com. It blows the competition away, or we'd sell the competition. We sell everything at a low price. We're free market. But there's just nothing that compares. We've got some live straws and their systems that are great as well, but they don't cut everything out. They just make water safe to drink. These are basic things everybody needs. The system wants us dependent. We need to be independent. Our own media, our own food, our own gardens. We have the best seed center for your summer or fall garden coming up. Get started now. We have more than 12 of the best companies, from fruit trees down to staples, the lowest prices at the InfoWars Seed Center, InfoWarsStore.com. And finally, we have InfoWarsLife.com with the best organic coffee. It's my favorite. People love it. Wake Up America coffee. We've from Chiapas, Mexico, grown in the high mountains there. Super high quality organic soil. We've got the InfoWars Life Nation Iodine, unlike any other out there. We've got the Survival Shield Nation Iodine. We've got the Lung Cleanse. We've got the Super Male Vitality you've heard all the rave reviews from. Try it. Bare minimum, you're supporting the broadcast, but once people try it, the rave reviews from what it does. It's not a mimicker of steroids, of testosterone. It is a system known to block estrogen mimickers and stimulate your glands naturally produce. You've seen the rave reviews. I still am not the prettiest man in the world, but people tell me I've lost a lot of weight and look great. This has helped me work out more. Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsStore.com. InfoWarsLife.com. The Pro Gun Molon Labe shirts. Women's apparel. Made in America. 888-253-3139. You can call. We'll send you a free catalog or answer any of your questions. 888-253-3139. Now, I'm going to try to shut up and give you the floor, Dr. Pieczenik, so you can really get rolling here. But we can look at all the battlefields and all the manipulations and all the special interest and all the Obama vacationing more than any other president and the authoritarianism of the First Lady saying, don't say bossy, and all the rest of it, and Hillary, you know, saying let's save the girls when she wouldn't put Boko Haram on the terror list. The degeneracy of the system, the corruption, the disconnect, the Obama saying raising the debt limit doesn't raise the debt, saying if you have a business, you didn't build that. The communist slogans, lean forward, right out of Karl Marx on MSNBC and CNN. I mean, really, I never believed it was a communist conspiracy. I knew that special interests used that to domesticate people. But now I realize that the only ones active and mobile in the corrupt corporate system are a bunch of really sickening authoritarian folks that are calling for the arrest of anybody who is right of Mao Zedong. And I see the CIA helping put Mao in and all this. I mean, it really freaks me out to think, who are the ruling class? What is the ideology? Why do they hate Christians so much, Dr. Pieczenik?
Well, number one, I don't think there's any more of what we would call a ruling class. What we have is we have a fractionation of a government. And basically, in some ways, it's really quite good because we have a totally incompetent president, followed by a formerly incompetent president, followed by a formerly immoral incompetent president. So for 30 years, we have had no one who's really been in charge and has had any capability to run this country. However, that doesn't mean they're not vitriolic and they were not dangerous. As you know, Bush Jr. initiated 9/11, initiated the Iraq War. and then lied. What we have here with Obama is a total sociopath, quite ignorant, quite incompetent. I've said it for years from the beginning, Alex, when you and I talked, very dysfunctional. He's a product of Valerie Jarrett. He's a product of the banking system and the Pfizer companies, the big pharma, where he gave them $80 billion for a very dysfunctional healthcare system called Obamacare. And now what you have is basically companies on their own saying, you know what, the hell with America. And they really don't care. The companies have become basically these egregiously greedy, self-important companies that have no loyalty to the United States. For example, Pfizer, one of the biggest billion-dollar companies in the United States that supplies our medicine, has decided to leave our tax system and do what we call an inversion and go to England so that they can buy a lousy company called AstraZeneca, which is worth nothing on the equity basis, in order to avoid our taxes. So the job of all of our companies has not been to be an American company or a flagship, but it's to avoid taxes, to produce the greatest amount of profit, and to make sure that they pay the least amount of money. So there's no sense of American affiliation. Where does that come from? It comes from the very top, as you correctly stated. Is there a wild-wide cabal? No, because it's so fractionated. It is so self-oriented. It is so egregiously greedy and dysfunctional that what's happening is everybody now is going out on their own. Even our own generals have never stood up from Benghazi. Instead of saying after 8 hours of monitoring the situation and saying that this was a standout, this was a violation of military orders, and there was an illegal operation that went on, initiated by Brennan through SOCOM, Special Operations Command, they quietly left, got their pension funds, and said nothing. The same thing with our CIA. You have to remember we have created a welfare state within our military, within our CIA, within our government. That has to be taken down systematically, and we don't have legislators for that. So,
well, I was about to say, I mean, from what I know, just 20, 30 years ago, most people who were in the CIA were mainly Christians, conservative types, maybe misguided, but super focused, top of their class. Nowadays, because they're all over the place, they like tripled the size of it. It's literally guys just sitting around bragging that they're in the CIA to girls and walking around with black suits and black sunglasses, just acting like they're secret police. And I mean, more and more we're acting like a third world country is what I'm saying.
Exactly. I'm saying you're correct. It's we're spending. I want you to realize that we, the American people, among your audience, we're spending over $180 billion for intelligence that's worth nothing. Most of the CIA are outsourced. That's 70 to 80% of the people who work in the CIA really don't get paid by the CIA itself. They then join SAIC, CAIC, MITRE, all these cutout organizations that are totally worthless. And then you have all these think tanks. Then you have the Secret Service, which really never serves the American public, but serves their own needs and maintains that they protect the president. Protected presidents are dispensable. The country is not dispensable. The office of the presidency is not dispensable. Yet not one Secret Service agent ever stood up and said, Obama's lying, Bush was lying, Clinton was lying. They never said a word. So their loyalty is not to the country. It is to their own jobs and their own sense of secrecy. So what we have is a government of military intelligence and secrecy within this republic, which has never been opened up, which has never been fragmented by great Christians like General Eisenhower. Even Jimmy Carter fired 9,000 CIA operatives, and they call him dysfunctional, yet he was the one who made a treaty between Israel and Egypt. I haven't seen any other president say it. And we have lost the Christian Judaic values of this country, and it became a monetary, greedy, self-absorbed country. Now, how does that relate to our education? Our education is a disaster. It is a disaster of the highest order. I've gone to Cornell, MIT, and Harvard, and I can tell you that each of those schools have literally whored their way into mercenary activity. I recently took a course at MIT on Internet Big Data. It was a terrible course, yet it gave away its MIT prestige because it needed the money. Not one of the teachers was really an American, and those who were